Technoblade blew up in 2020 because of the dreamsmp Minecraft Championship and the Potato War. In this video he talks about his philosophy and his strategy for YouTube in 3 parts. Part 1. The Math Contest.
It's a kind of weird philosophy that I kind of thought other people had, and the more I live my life, the more I realize that I'm one of the only people that thinks this way. Which I guess makes sense, because if everyone thought the way I did, society would fall apart instantly, because it's not a sustainable or smart philosophy. This drives literally everything I do. So there was a thing called the American Math Contest. It was a really big deal, and all the math nerds at my school, and I am a big math nerd, if you get a question right, you get a certain amount of points. If you don't fill in any answer, you just don't get any points. And if you fill in an answer but get it wrong, you lose points. Guessing is pretty much always a bad idea, because on average, you're gonna lose points. The thing is that my philosophy says, guess away. Guess for like everything, man. Why not? The exam is set up in a way where if you get like a really great score, you'll win like an award or something and, I don't know, go to college. But if you do anything less than like best in the nation or whatever, then no one cares. So with that thing, there's literally nothing to lose by guessing. Because sure, on average, you'll get a lower score. But who cares if you get a low score? You might as well guess on every problem and have a 1 in a billion chance of getting a perfect score, because then you'll get something like amazing. Even if you don't guess, you'll statistically generally do better, but who cares? You'll just end up doing like, you know, pretty well, but not well enough. So you won't win anything. That's pretty much my analysis on life, is that you just have to shoot for the stars in every situation. It took me a while to realize this, but no one thinks this way. I'm just weird, man. Well, I mean, I gotta do it. Normal people don't think like this, and they really shouldn't, because that's not something society can sustain if someone needs to like make food. I mean, I guess you could have like dreams of being the greatest farmer of all time, but hey, I'd watch that movie.
Part 2. 2 buttons.
Okay, let's say you have 2 buttons in front of you, and if you press one button, you live a good life. It's pretty like 80th percentile in terms of like how great lives are, you know? And if you hit another button, it's the risk button. There's like a 95% chance that you're just homeless and unhappy, but there's a 5% chance if you hit that button that you will be like a superstar or something. You'll be PewDiePie. My philosophy says you need to hit that button, even though on average it's a terrible idea. How could you do anything else? How could you be okay with moderate success when you could have had amazing success? How could you have chosen the safe option? I don't know if I talk about this, but I also want to be like a writer, a really successful writer. I want to be George R. R. Martin, man. I want to be like the person who writes Harry Potter. These are not reliable career paths. It would make sense if I was like, I don't know, like a programmer or like a scientist. They'd be reliable sources of income. Why would I choose Minecraft Let's Plays? And it's because I have to shoot for the moon. I will never be able to look at myself in like the mirror and be like, I could have chosen something better. I don't know, perhaps I'm being like more extreme and edgy. I'm just some teenager with ADHD, man. I play Minecraft, so take everything I say with like a grain of salt. Even though it's like mathematically speaking, all of my life choices are just completely terrible. I can't bring myself to care about the safe option, because I need to do things that people don't think I can do to show them I can. Because it's like, if I said I was going to become a doctor, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's believable. People expect that, you know? That's why it's not appealing. Whereas it's like, I'm going to become a super successful author and also YouTuber. It's like, oh, well, that's completely unrealistic, and that's why I want it to happen. I make poor life choices a lot, but that's the reason. That's like the one thing I care about in a person. Like, what's your end game? If everything went perfectly, what would you be? That's the defining question of who someone is what they want to be.
Part 3. YouTube.
So basically when I was in 8th grade, I kind of like hated myself, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna need to find a job that I won't absolutely hate. And I was like, so what do I enjoy doing? Well, I like making YouTube videos. Honestly, I think I saw the name when I was 6 years old. Someone was just using it, and like a couple of years later, my subconscious was like, hey, I remember a cool name, so I stole it. Well, I started out recording Hunger Games videos, since those were huge back in the day. I was slowly trying to assimilate the Blitz survival games community into my fan base. Things started to pick up after that. I began making these Hunger Games montages in which I'd showcase myself beating some of the top players in the community, and those were quite successful. Every couple of months, I'd spend all my money making sure this clip played at the start of every Minecraft YouTuber's video. It was a pretty bizarre way to get subs, but hey, it worked. I mean, optimizing it required a lot of math, but math is my thing. I managed to optimize it to the point where I could get almost 3 subscribers per dollar, and Hypixel released a new game mode. Skywars. Skywars was the most popular minigame Minecraft had ever had. I spent the next 2 years taking over Skywars. I was obsessed with YouTube, and part of that obsession meant stalking every single other Minecraft YouTuber on Social Blade to see which of them were succeeding, and if so, why. So anyways, I stalked Skeppy on Social Blade and noticed that his sub-game was completely normal, except whenever he started live streaming, at which point it increased by like 1,000% until he stopped. So I tried that myself, and oh my god, did it work. For like a month, I was streaming like 5 hours per day. I took a gap year instead of going to college. I turned my focus to taking over Bedwars, Hypixel's new game, which, just like Skywars, completely shattered any previous player count records. You know, Skyblock came out, which was even more ridiculously popular than Bedwars, and right as I was starting to take that over, bam! Keemstar's out here saying he's starting a Minecraft YouTuber tournament, and I'm here like, it's free real estate. And in like 2 months, my views per video go from like 100,000 to 1 million. It's pretty great. I'm sure that trend will continue forever. And I'm probably going to be homeless in my 20s because Minecraft YouTube isn't a reliable source of income. Neither is being an author. Getting an English degree is a terrible idea. Don't do what I do. I'm not smart, okay? So that's my philosophy. My philosophy isn't about being smart. It's about shooting for the stars.